George W. Bush throwing out the first pitch at the 2001 World Series.
To me, for people, you know what's crazy? Is that you almost, I'm like, well, we don't have to say what happened in 2001, but you might.
Oh, because some people might not
I mean,
know?
some people are so young that you might have to, so 9/11 just happened, 2001. I mean, John was born in 97, John Augustine.
Yeah.
So, like most people, there's people that listen to this that would, definitely you don't remember it, right?
I do remember this.
Yeah.
I followed baseball pretty closely this year.
What?
I remember
How
it was
old
the
were you?
Diamondbacks. I was 10
Yeah, okay.
when this
But
happened.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have 9/11 wouldn't have been. You remember it, but it was not.
Yeah, and I was
in.
in Alabama, so I didn't really fully
guys were 4.
appreciate the. No, I didn't understand the national relevance of this moment, which now is one of my favorite moments. It's maybe one of the best moments ever. And you were talking George Bush, just the pressure of.
There's a great 30 for 30 about this. I'd recommend anyone go watch.
So the setup of it is 9/11 happened. I mean, his speech that he gave was unbelievable. That he gave down there.
Yeah, well, that's like 3 days after 9/11. He went down to Ground Zero, and he's down there with all the workers, and he's on the bullhorn, and the guys yelling, "We can't hear you!" And then he says, "I can hear you. The world hears you." And pretty soon, the people who did this will hear us all.
I mean,
what a riff!
I'll run through a.
What a riff.
I'd run through a building right now, like just this wall. I'll just run through it.
Yeah,
that kind of those moments are. That's an unbelievable moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that speech is a clutch performance. In the fact, he doesn't know what he's going to say, dude. No one, there's no way the guy, they're like, all right, you shout.
They planted him.
Yeah, you don't plan him. That's, again, what the Vandy football with the woman this weekend, it did happen, but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that moment. It doesn't, that's where it feels.
Feels the exact opposite of that moment.
Yeah, no. Well, I think she's as important to us as George W. Bush. But like her moment this weekend was, they did need help. It's COVID. We didn't have kickers. But it feels, she gave this speech at halftime. They had a hashtag, I Play Like Girl, already set up. It's almost like nowadays, if you do have something that happens kind of naturally, they corporate it so much that it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
And he's just standing on the rubble with a bullhorn. Someone yells that, I can hear you. That's unreal, dude. So like just to come up with that stuff, I mean, the whole world's looking at you for an answer.
Yeah.
This was the most helpless the whole country has ever felt, is what can we do? And they're looking at this guy, and this guy delivers that message. And then that dude, 300 million people don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. People are blown away that this could even happen in America.
Yeah.
And then him to say that is nuts. Is unreal, dude. Unreal. His approval rating at that point was like 99 or something so high just in that moment.
Yeah.
Because you're like, dude, this is, it's the most unified we've ever been as a country. It was the most amazing thing ever. For him to do that, and then he goes to New York, and they postponed the playoffs, and he goes and throws out the first pitch. The pressure on this first pitch, there's not a Super Bowl, there's not any sports, there's not a World Series, there's nothing that's as important as this first pitch. There's nothing.
Right.
He said it was the most nervous he was ever during his entire 8 years as president.
I mean, there's nothing, dude. I mean, there ain't a Notre Dame player that knows what that feels like.
Right.
There's no sports or sports. No one cares. In the grand scheme of things, who cares? It's a game. This pitch, that's what's so crazy, dude. This pitch is the biggest, most clutch over Jordan's sick game, all the Jordan shots. It's unbelievable that a pitch that doesn't count is the most important possible sports moment in the history of all of sports.
Right. Well, the country wasn't looking to Michael Jordan and going, tell me I'm safe. Tell me and my family that we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And
it's in that moment.
He had all of this on his shoulders.
And if someone doesn't remember it, I don't know if they're young, they might think that seems, I'm being over. Like, that's kind of crazy to think. Like, but at that moment, dude, it happened in New York. It happened.
Yeah, let me give a couple more details for people who might not know.
Yeah.
So, as he said, the playoffs, the baseball season obviously was put on hold when 9/11 happened, and then everything got backed up. So now it's the World Series, the Yankees versus the Diamondbacks. His Secret Service security wanted him to do it in Arizona.
Yeah.
Because it'd just be safer. He wanted to do it in New York because of what happened in 9/11. They finally agreed to it. They're like, you got to wear a bulletproof vest, which makes it a lot harder to throw a baseball.
Right.
He went down to the bullpen to warm up beforehand, and Derek Jeter came down and said, don't bounce it or you'll get booed, which a lot of people do. And then he said, most guys who throw out the first pitch, they don't stand on the mound. They stand much closer and throw it. He's like, if you throw it through the mound, it'd be even better. He went out, stood on the mound, which nobody ever does, and threw a perfect strike.
A perfect strike. Play it.
Yeah. Wait, the crowd's going nuts. I don't know if I want to play the audio because MLB is notorious about that. But
yeah,
boom, perfect strike,
Perfect strike.
right down the middle.
Yeah,
pretty special moment.
And we'll post this.
Yeah, we're posting it in the on social media. Yeah, it's like, dude, if he bounces that, I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like the world's gonna be different if he bounces it.
Yeah.
In the nothing's gonna be different. And when you really think about it, nothing can happen. It's a non-baseball guy throwing. Or he played baseball, I think, or something.
Yeah.
But not an athlete. Got a lot of stuff on his mind.
Yeah,
no one's gonna.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
He's got some busy days. Yeah.
And so nothing's. But the idea that he did that is remarkable. It's remarkable to throw that strike from back there. The whole world's watching. The whole world. This isn't a regular game. I mean, it's the first game back. World Series game. Not even playoffs, right? World Series.
It's World Series.
Which Arizona won, actually.
Yep, they did in 7.
The Yankees couldn't even step up to it. How much better would the story be if the Yankees would have won?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were rooting for that year.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Just what a story it would have been.
And you don't do it. And Arizona wins.
Yeah.
And and then everybody's like, it's good. I mean, I feel bad for Arizona now because no one cares. I mean, now everybody's moved on. We got a ring.
Right.
You say you won in 2001, everybody'd be like, no one's going to think about it that way.
Right.
But in that moment, dude, I just don't know who's been under that pressure because he's not pitching. He's not. I mean, he obviously can throw a ball, but he's not pitching. But he's at least an athlete enough that
Now, if Sarah Fuller would have had to kick a game potentially game-winning field goal, this past weekend, do you think that there would have been been a lot, not obviously different level than this, but there would have been a lot of external pressure?
It would have been
like
huge. It would have been enormous if she had to go out there and to win that game. That would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, that would have been really cool.
That's the thing, that we were never putting her in a situation to thrive. I mean, she was.
I told Nate they'd make a movie about it. He's like, a 1-9 football team. They make a movie about it.
What movie? Oh, you get done watching the movie. You're like, how did that team? You go look up. How did they end up? Coach got fired immediately right after. Oh, really?
The next day, right?
I mean, I think that day. I think that night he got fired, and the news came out that day. The next day. So I mean, they're not gonna. They're not. It would be a. The movie needs to be focused on her, and maybe you should just make it about the SEC, the women's soccer team that actually was really good. I think this is my most clutch. Obviously, this Bush. I always think about it. I've watched it. I'll go back and watch it every now and again. It's just such a good pitch. I mean, just the amount of pressure that you're under is unreal, dude.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.